Hello YouTube. Oh my goodness, I miss YouTube. I really enjoyed filming my best friend's wedding video, my last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Let me know what you think. All right, just to quickly summarize, 2022 was such an incredible year. I obviously had my best friend's wedding that you saw in my last video, going to Malaysia. I had my family, my mum and my brother come to Barcelona and visit me here. And then from there, we did a spontaneous trip to South France in Carcassonne to watch the Tour de France. I had my incredible nursing girls come visit me in Barcelona. And then obviously we got Onyx as well. Like Mark and I decided to get a dog at the start of the year, and now he's 10 months old. And we thought that obviously finally being with Mark and living together and enjoying all the little things and seeing the world together, it was such an incredible year. There was so many highlights for sure, but with the good, definitely does come the bad. You know what? I'm not going to categorize it as bad. I'm genuinely thankful. But a lot of people assume coming to Barcelona meant, oh my goodness, you get paellas every day. The gorgeous sunshine is out 24/7, which it's not always the case. But yes, it is sunny most of the time. Yeah, there was just so many assumptions. A lot of people think me going overseas to Barcelona, there was so much to explore and see. And of course that is definitely true. But for me, my reality was that was not the case at all. Guys, I can't even siesta. And that was something I was definitely looking forward to. But I'm such an overthinker. Last year taught me to be still with time. Last year taught me that I need to be okay when things pause and it's not this go, go, go lifestyle, which was very, very difficult, very, very challenging, especially at the start. I was so in my head. I felt like I needed to do more. I felt like a failure. I felt like I'm wasting my time here. I felt like I wasn't doing things correctly. Through that, it really taught me to understand, okay, why am I given this time in my life right now to be still with time? What is the universe trying to tell me? That inner work to understand myself and to embrace that. Understand it to the point of, you know, seeking that professional help, getting a diagnosis of what I needed to know for myself. You know, a lot of people assume that I moved overseas for a boy. Obviously there's an element of that. But when I made the decision to come here, I knew that I needed more for myself. I knew that the environment that I was in wasn't really doing much for me. I was kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. And I needed that change of pace, figure out, okay, what is happening with me. So yeah, last year was definitely okay, I need to undo everything that I have known life to be and shift my priorities and to really tune into what feels right for me. And like I said, embrace myself and not being scared to be anyone else but myself. And that is really difficult, especially being such a people pleaser like I have been for all my life, and I still battle with that till this day. I actually want to read a bit of something that I wrote in my journal, which I don't know if it's going to be a thought prompter. I don't know if any of you guys even care, but I don't know, this part of what I wrote really resonated with what I'm trying to get across and this point of what last year meant to me and what it represented. So I wrote, why did I want to move to Barcelona? Besides the obvious of being with my partner, I needed to find me. I always knew that if I wasn't truthfully happy, then I needed to explore it. I needed to understand why. And the whys always led back to me needing to do the inner work. And because of this, I knew that my world could always be bigger. I knew staying in the same environment would only lead me to continue being who I have always been, enabling my usual habits to remain and never actually growing. It almost becomes like clockwork, where you remain the same, yet the external factors or influences are constantly changing around you. And that is the motion of life I didn't want to continue having. I wanted to understand me, so when I encountered these external influences, I knew how to best manage them or get better at distinguishing if a person or a situation is healthy or right for me. And then I stopped, because that's classic me to a T. I will be so in the zone, so focused in on a point, on what I'm trying to write down, and then lose myself while writing my point. Like, it's not even like I necessarily get distracted by an external thing. It's like internally I'm distracted. It's like sometimes when I'm speaking to someone and then like I'll be like blah, 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 and like whatever I was saying just completely disappears. And this is what I mean by I needed to work on something, understand what that is and what that meant, because I literally went 26 years of my life being like, yeah, that's just me. And with so many things with that too. Like, I would find myself going to work and get burnt out so quickly, and finding just doing like the basic things in life, adulting, super difficult. And I always just be like, there's something wrong with me. I'm the problem. Like, why am I finding this so difficult? Get your shit together, grow up. Look, I'm not saying you have to move to the other side of the world to do that inner work and find yourself. I mean, maybe for some of you, you need to. Maybe for some of you, you do need to have that change of environment, similar to me, to force yourself to not do that same cycle. And I was super distracted by the everyday life and what I knew success to be. You know, I'm making this video similar to my 2021 mindset video. I want to be able to look back. I mean, like all my videos, I want to be able to look back. This is my platform to be able to journal. And if you resonate with anything that I say or you enjoy my videos, thank you. But yeah, for me, I'm really just trying to do this for myself to grow as a person, and hopefully be like, okay, this is where my mind was at this point in my life, and where do I go from there? If you are still here up to this part of the video, I think my question to you would be like, do you find yourself reliving the same experience or emotions, just in different settings? Whether that be a new job, in a new relationship, whether that be friendship, romantic, whatever, even a new hobby. Like, do you find yourself still remaining the same person, repeating the same habits that you have always done, just in different motions of life? And if the answer to that is yes, and you want to explore that and understand that more, then I'm the first to champion that. I'm the first to be like, okay, what do you need to do to help you reprogram that, rewire that, find the solution to be like, okay, I need to make a shift. I mean, like, obviously, don't get me wrong, like, new relationships, a new job, whatever, it definitely gives you that ability to grow. But you still find yourself, like, not the environment, yourself still reliving that same motion. I mean, to be able to maximize a situation, you'll be able to do that better if you know yourself more. This is not meant to be an advice video. This is just an opinion on my experience and what I had been through. And like I said, I know, for example, getting diagnosed with ADHD, I don't feel like I would have been able to discover that if I hadn't taken that pause, if I didn't take that time to do that inner work and truly understand it. If I continue just to plod on with every day going to work how I did, and you know, the thing is, you always know it's there. Like, I always knew. For example, when I was working as a nurse, I worked part-time. I worked 3 days a week because I mentally and physically could never work full-time. I tried it for 6 months and I burnt out. Like, I was so exhausted. I really struggled. I mean, I still struggled even working 3 days a week. I felt exhausted, but I felt it was a lot more manageable. There were so many tail signs for me that I was like, okay, something's going on here. Like, even finding my job at times quite difficult and challenging, but I had learned to kind of mask everything and get on with it. This is what I mean by undoing what I know, because masking was a huge problem of mine. It's something I've learned to do at such a young age, and I don't want to do that. It's not healthy. You don't get anywhere with that. But it has been so nice to be given this time to sit with it and learn about it and work on it and be better. Just quickly, going into 2023, I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to keep exploring this and understanding myself. And with that, I've decided to go back to uni. I didn't want to completely throw away my nursing degree. I was like, why don't we just build on that, especially since mental health has been such a forefront for me. So yes, I'm doing a postgrad in mental health nursing this year, which I'm super excited, nervous, because studying I'm still not great at it. But at least I have a lot more tools to help me with that. I'm gonna keep going with Spanish classes, hopefully to just get better at that this year. I have had many many times where I've broken down crying and I'm like, I cannot do this. I'm terrible at languages. Poor Mark, he's dealt with me cry every second week complaining about how difficult it is, especially as it's getting harder. I started like end of last year. So yes, it took me like basically a whole year for me to even just get started. But I started, that's all that matters. I'm gonna keep plodding on with that. And yeah, besides learning, like going to school with different things, it's also just hopefully being consistent with YouTube. I'll quickly show you guys Onyx. If you saw my last video, you would have seen he was puppy. He was so little. Onyx! What is this face? What are these teethies? Look how big, oh Onyx, look how big you are now. Wow.